Today, I'm going to share with you some of my most recent sales I had gotten on eBay. Just an FYI, if the sales are jewelry, I get them in big lots, so literally they are very, very inexpensive. So keep that in mind. And I don't do free shipping. I do charge for shipping. So yeah, this lampwork glass beaded bracelet, this sold for me for $19.99. Now, I did have a 40% off coupon going on for 3 days. This vintage pink rhinestone pin, this sold for me for $14.99 with the discount. These two vintage Summitville tiles, these sold for me for $19.99, and this sold with the 40% off discount. These vintage round disc earrings, these were about this big. Maybe not that big, but these were pretty big earrings. They sold for $6.99. There was a discount on them. This vintage glass beaded necklace, this sold for $34.99, and I did have the discount going on. These Crocs, these sold for $29.99 with the discount of 40% off, and I had got them for free. One of my husband's friends' wife gave them to me. This Michael Kors skirt, this sold for $10.99. Now, the rest of these items do not have that particular discount going on, and I don't think I had a discount going on with most of these ones. These men's Levi's 501 jeans, these were a size 42-30. It's kind of an odder kind of a size, but these sold for $27.99. This sheep plush, this sold for $8.79. I probably paid $1, between a quarter and $1 for that. I don't think I paid $1, but I had that a little while. I sold another vintage shell choker necklace. This one sold for $15.99. This Lalaloopsy Blossom doll, this sold for $14.99. This vintage high heel brooch, $9.99. The Lalaloopsy doll, I probably paid $1 for that. That was like with stuffed plush that I had gotten. Antique Rosette and Palms Bryce cans. This antique Rosette and Palms Bryce glass candy dish, this sold for $24.99. I got that for free. I got a whole bunch. I got like 13 boxes of free glassware last year or the year before. These No Boundaries bikini bottoms, $12.99. This vintage Paquette Peepaw brooch, $10.99. These Montego Bay club shoes, $19.99. I got them for free. This vintage Chaws black denim skirt, $19.99. I got these in a big, huge lot of skirts. This vintage tie holder, I had this for a couple years. I probably paid a quarter. Or maybe gotten it for free, because I probably wouldn't have picked that up if I was anywhere. I don't remember. It's been a while. But I did sell that for $18.32. This Mitsubishi 2003 Subaru Outback windshield washer reservoir, this sold for $39.99. These flower drop earrings, $10.99. This horseshoe bracelet, $13.59. Again, the jewelry, maybe a dime, maybe a nickel. I get them in big lots. This tractor trailer flatbed, this was I just sold that by itself. It was from like a little Matchbox car or something. I sold that for $6.49. The buyer I did have it at $8.99, and I sent him a best offer of $6.49, and he took it. Their shell necklace, this sold for $10.66. This vintage glass fish dish, $10.39. I have quite a few of them. I didn't know if they were a set, but there was quite a few of them, so I have to find it wherever I have the other ones and get them listed too. Airy swimsuit bikini bottom, I had these for $6.99, or they sold for $6.99 on a best offer. These Rainbow brand heart dangling earrings, $11.99. Flower brooch, $11.99. These clever clasps, $8.79. This Victoria's Secret swim top, $10.39. This vintage chunky lucite bracelet. This was like a stretch bracelet, $16. These Lucky Brand jeans, $17.99. I got them in a big lot of jeans that were on sale at the one thrift store. This vintage fork bracelet, this sold for $39.99. This Vernier Palm Trees cuff watch, $7. Pretty rhinestone bracelet, $24.99. If you do find that brand, the brand does sell pretty well. Black cat earring, $6.09. This bone fish ring at $12.45. Now I'm not going all over these. I'm just picking a few of these out. This another Shape and Shore bikini top bra for swimming, $9. This vintage sterling silver, really tiny pendant charm, $9.99. Chico's necklace, $7.49. This vintage Pyrex bowl, $10. This was a small one. This vintage tea garment pleated gray slip, $17.49. Lucinda Yates Christmas pin, $10. Some of her stuff sells good, some of her jewelry, so you want to keep an eye out for that. This vintage sculptured chess game. This is by Gainine. This sold for $22.99. I did have that listed over $50 for a while. I had some watches on it, but sometimes you just have to get rid of stuff, you know. This little bracelet lot, $6. Little pair of Easter earrings, $6.49. Learn to Play Piano book. This was $12.99. I got that for free. This Sarah Coventry necklace, $7.99. These vintage Kenneth J. Lane earrings, $19.99. This neon green blue rhinestone necklace, $8.50. These bras sold to the same person. This Elia embroidered Elia microfiber bra, $10. And this vintage Gelmart, this sold for $12.50. Another pin, $14.99. I sold a scapular, Virgin Mary, $9.99. Alley Rose skirt, tiered. I used the words romantic and cottagecore in the title. Not sure if it helped it sell, but it sold for $19.99. These earrings, $7.99, and these were floral hoop earrings. This vintage New York Yankees plush, $10.99. This Ronica Abalone shell watch, $14.99. These Croft & Barrow earrings, $10.99. These Black Dickies, $19.99. This vintage handmade brooch pin, $19.99. And I'm gonna stop here. This one is vintage. I use the word slick for these vintage bike shorts. These sold for $24.99, and they went internationally, and they were in a whole big lot of other stuff I got, so maybe $1. I'm going to stop that there. There's some other stuff that I did sell, but I just want to keep you up to date, kind of be up to date with some of my most recent listings, hopefully to encourage you to get out there and get those items listed. So if you haven't already, please like, please subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Take care.